What are those first steps that you would recommend that they should take to facilitate that smooth transition and make an immediate impact on their environment?
Yeah, and the goal here is immediate impact, right? You can boil the ocean setting up governance, and what you'll find is that it never really gets off the ground because you try to accomplish too much. And so the way that you sort of get to a governance strategy quickly is you do some assessment and some planning. And so you want to gather your requirements and your goals, your outcomes, again, as far as what you want to accomplish with governance. You then look at your existing strategy and how does that align with your goals? What needs to change? And so you're really doing a gap assessment at that point. And then you build your roadmap and your action plan as far as what are we going to do 3, 6, 12, 18, 24 months out. And so take it in chunks, but know that your first objective should be to set up a cloud center of excellence or cloud business office, charter it, get the right people into it, and start meeting and start actually having conversations about your objectives and your strategy to do that. Because one of the things that you'll find is you may put a 24-month strategy out there and 6 months into it, things are going to change. Unfortunately, that's the state of the world now. And so, a 24-month plan is a good directional indicator of where you need to go, but you also need to be meeting regularly to say, things have changed, let's update our strategy, or maybe there's a new compliance requirement that needs to be addressed or something like that. And so you want to make sure that your governance team is able to be agile around those things and make that happen. Once you've done that, it's immediate wins is what you're going for. You want to build that positive attitude around your governance. And so getting some standardization in place, providing visibility into the reporting metrics that you're looking at and sending those out, making them available to the entire organization so that they can look at them and they can ask questions and be open to questions when you start providing visibility, because sometimes your ideas for improvements won't come from internal to your teams. It may come from external to the business. They may look at something and go, why is that server still up? We decommissioned using it 6 months ago. And suddenly you've got a win. So that visibility is really important. Looking at cost optimization, looking at your spend and reporting on that, and also identifying those opportunities for immediate optimization. So recovering of underutilized servers or unused servers, looking at your object storage and maybe putting life cycle policies in place and getting some of that stuff archived out would be useful stuff there. And then setting budgets and thresholds around your different environments and begin tracking those and reporting on them and reporting on the overruns or potential overruns that go with that. Security should be in this. They are on the same team. And so you want to make sure that they're involved and they're conducting posture assessments and looking at the vulnerabilities and potential threats within the environment. And that they're partnered with you to implement automation for security checks and vulnerability scans across the environment. And then the last piece of this is the communication and training. And so you want to make sure that you're constantly communicating to the organization. Here's what we're governing. Here's what we're doing. Here are the guardrails that we're putting in place to keep things on track. And here's how we are improving. You also want to make sure that that training includes best practices that you expect everyone to be following within the environment. And also, again, how to manage costs and to have that cost awareness of things that are being provisioned and how things are being managed. Excuse me. And then when there are questions, being open to those questions and creating an escalation process around questions so that you're sort of putting together an FAQ for your environment over time that when people ask questions, they can go to the FAQ or there's an escalation process to get the answer that they're looking for within that.